All right, everybody. Happy Monday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. We're gonna have a rocking week this week. Okay. I don't know. I'm breathing it into existence that something is headed your way and it's gonna be exciting this week. You're gonna get some kind of surprise this week that maybe you've been working for. Maybe it's some less weight on the scales, or maybe it's more money in the bank account at the end of the week. I don't know, but I feel there's energy. There's going to be some things, special things happen to everybody this week on this call. So the word for today, and before I get to it, Miss Liz Alexander is always driving and she's tuning in to the coach's corner. Now, just for everybody out there, she's not watching, she's just listening, okay, as she drives. So don't get scared for her. But it is her birthday today. So if you could give her big shout outs in the comments, we want to sing to you at the end. So the word for today is nurture. Nurture. And if you look at that, it's the process of caring for and encouraging growth and development of someone or something. Now, where I went this morning is you and me. We're going to be selfish this morning and we're going to think about nurturing ourselves, okay? But before that, I want to read a quote to you. A dream doesn't die because it has no truth. It dies because you fail to nurture it. Think about that. A dream doesn't die because it doesn't have truth. It dies because we don't nurture the dream. How many of you, maybe even thinking about yourself, how many of you have been excited before? You're excited, you're pursuing, you're going after something, and then you lose your steam. And before long, it just becomes one of those things that you become distant to or you walk away from. And for years down the road, you think about what would it have been like if I'd have just stayed the course. You see, the dream doesn't die. Sometimes we just don't nurture the dream enough to stay involved. I encourage you to stay involved. I encourage myself, stay involved. Stay involved, Brent, with your health journey. Don't look up and go, man, I put back on 70 pounds. How did I do that? Because I didn't nurture the dream of being healthy and I let it die. Okay? But the dream doesn't die. It just stops being nurtured. Same way with my profession. I can look at it in all different directions. So here's the deal. And I want you to focus on self-nurture, like yourself, because we can cultivate a positive environment that will keep us plugged in, keep us thriving, keep us moving. The key aspect is nurturing personal growth. Number one, I got to have self-compassion. So if my paycheck's not where I want it to be, or my health's not where I want it to be, don't give up on the dream. Just keep going. Have self-compassion. Like it's okay. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to have a flaw. It's okay to stumble. Like we're human. We're human. So have some self-compassion. Practice self-talk. Like have you ever talked to yourself before? Come on now. I know we all have, right? What if we turn the I can'ts to I will? I can't fly a plane. Oh no, in this life I will. Okay, now I have no interest in doing that, but I'm just saying, like, don't say take the cane out. You can if you want to, right? Take the T out. So don't say the word can't. Okay, you absolutely can if you choose to. It might take some time. Have that self-talk, right? Number two, set healthy boundaries. One of the biggest things is set healthy boundaries in my head. When my head starts saying, man, Brent, you're not good enough. You need to go do something else, Brent. You need to get back focused over here, Brent. Like this is not for you, Brent. Then I start drifting from my dream. Set healthy boundaries in my head and also set healthy boundaries with my circle that I listen to every day? What's my circle telling me? Is my circle telling me I can, or is my circle telling me I can't, or I better watch out, or I better be careful, or blah, blah, blah? Continuous learning. We talked about it the other day about um, we looked at I think it was President Roosevelt, but if you look at any great people in our history books, they were continuous learners. Okay. And so I challenge all of us, what book are we reading right now? What audio are we listening to right now? What podcast are we on right now to sharpen our skills of just thriving in this world we live in? And the last one I'm going to share and turn it to Andrea is learn from our mistakes. I'm talking to myself. Like if I make it, learn from it. Like that's another way I can nurture my own self is, you know what? When you make a mistake, that's called wisdom. All right. Like I've invested money, I've done this, I've done that. And you know what? It hadn't all turned out great. Guess what that's called? Wisdom. Wisdom. That down the road I can learn from. Not only can I learn from it, but I can teach the people that is coming after me to maybe not make the same mistakes. Okay. So that's kind of my thought with self-nurture this morning. Andrea, I'll turn it to you.
Well, I love it. That was a great lesson and super excited to be back here on a Monday with you guys. And I really think that we need a day where we just introduce ourselves because we've got so many new faces that like we're not even maybe friends on Facebook. So I can't stalk you. So I can't find your birthday. I mean, it's getting serious now. So we got to figure all that out. But what I looked into today was what are some traits that we should nurture in ourselves? So if I want to be a happier human, if I want to be more successful, if I want to help more people on this green earth before my dash is done, like what are some traits that I need to nurture inside of me? Okay, in order for that to happen. So first of all, resilience. So we all know that, resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. And we all know we're going to have it, right? We're going to have the Monday mornings when we woke up after having the weekend where we got completely off track, right? Like is that just me? No? Okay. So we have those weekends, right? We got to hear about some of them in Louisiana yesterday where we just kind of get off track. We get challenged in a way that's we struggle with. But if we have resilience, then we'll be able to face those difficulties with courage, with adaptability, with determination, and get ourselves back on track. Next, we want to nurture self-confidence. And that's the belief in our own abilities. Sometimes we can say like, ooh, they're confident, right? We'll hear that sometimes and we say it almost in a derogatory way. But then we also see those people that they walk into a room and they just kind of own it, right? Like whatever's going on in their life, they just have their shoulders back and they are able to do so much more. And we all need that confidence. So go do something hard. Go live into your potential. Go do something that you thought you couldn't do so that you have and you gain a little bit more self-confidence, that it's going to empower you to take those calculated risks, to pursue those goals and to overcome the self-doubt that can get us sometimes. Next is empathy. If we want to truly, be more successful, be happier, have stronger relationships, then we have to nurture empathy within ourselves. And that's going to foster connection and compassion, positive relationships, all things that we probably want. Next is a growth mindset. So I've got to nurture that, right? Like we all know that well, let me just back up. Maybe we don't know, right? Brent just talked about it, and I'm going to mess up your quote where we got to remove the T, right? So we can do whatever it is if we want to, if we try a little bit harder, if we keep going. But that takes that growth mindset to realize that I can grow, I can improve, and I can develop additional, habits, strengths, whatever. And then lastly, the last trait that we should nurture in ourselves today for this lesson, there's probably more, is self-discipline. Self-discipline is what allows us to have that delayed gratification, right? Anybody else that sometimes you just want that bowl of ice cream, or for me, it's really, I want a bucket, not even a bowl. I want a bucket of popcorn, and I want it to have fresh butter on it, like melted butter and a little bit of pink salt. Like that just sounds like heaven to me. And in that moment, it sounds like the best idea. But if I have a little bit of self-discipline, I can say, no, Andrea, this is probably not what you need to do right before you go to bed tonight. So I have that discipline so that tomorrow I wake up feeling better. I wake up feeling proud of myself. I wake up moving towards my goals instead of moving away from them. And that's going to allow us to stay focused, persevere in the face of distractions, temptation, like that popcorn. All of that is going to help us achieve our goals and develop better habits.
Andrea, great lesson other than the popcorn. Now, Alan White is off the skid steer running down to get him some popcorn. Why messed up his day? You messed up his day. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All
I
right.
got myself excited about it too. I'm like, dang, now I want popcorn.
All right. All right. So we're going to be we go upbeat on the happy birthday this morning. So here we go. Here we go, Liz Alexander. We hope you have an amazing day. Happy
birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Love you
Many
guys. Have a
more.
beautiful
Happy
Monday.
birthday.
Happy
Have a
birthday.
great day.